Hey, hey, hey! What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. It is Thursday. And we're going to jump back on this SD build here and continue detailing that and having fun with all that stuff. But first, hey, yeah. Ooh, that's a nice look. Rocking the Mecha blackout shirt today. If you want one of these, go to www.childofmecha.com, hit the store button up at the top. You will find this shirt, many more, hats, prints of my work, all sorts of fun stuff in there, so go load up. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we're going to be working with here today, there's a little Amazon link below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. Lots of cool stuff in there. Books for inspiration, gear for streaming. If you want to get into that, now is a good time. And like we said before, tools and materials that we're going to be using. It goes to help out me, help out the stream, and fuel our endeavors moving forward. So go peruse and pick up little things that you might need. If you are interested in kits, paints, tools, accessories, whatever, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are both in stock and shipping right now. Hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine folks down there will definitely have what you need. And as always, if you like what we're doing here, if you like the content, if you like getting learned up on this stuff, man, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you think that this could benefit somebody else, share us on Facebook or Twitter or whatever floats your boat. All right, and then also hit the thumbs up too, right? That helps as well. Okie dokie. So if you have been living under a rock for the past 16 hours, GBWC 2020 is now officially no more. They officially canceled that last night, actually during the stream, so yeah, so that's done. That's done. Just cancel Christmas. it's over. So we're gonna shoot for next year, and hopefully, man, the entries next year will be just absolutely amazing, because now we have an extra whole year to finish. For me, competing here on the East Coast of the U.S., I basically have another year and a half. Because the competition that I usually go to, Anime NYC, isn't until like October, November, something like that. Or I enter online, which is right around the same time as well. So, yeah, we got a lot more time for GBWC builds and stuff like that. Time to refine them, perfect them, up your skill sets, all that good stuff. So, that's actually kind of exciting. Honestly, I think honestly it was a good call on Bandai's part, but yeah, I think everything will work out for the better. I really do. So we move on. We continue work, right? Speaking of continuing work, let's continue work on this SD, shall we? Let's go camera 2. There we are. Now, if you remember last time we were working on this on Tuesday, we had detailed this front ankle part here with some of these nice little micro panels here, and you know, a bunch of scribing and stuff like that. A little plating right here at the top, but that's what we were doing. So I think we're going to continue a little bit on the front part, but then we're going to get to the back part here as well, and kind of continue with what we're doing here, and kind of get the whole flavor of the unicorn and everything. So let's start by removing that, and let's also get these side ankle parts off of here. These are a little tougher to get removed, but with a little leverage, anything is possible. There we go. Just like that. There we are. So, these are going to be the pieces that we're going to be working on here today. Now, I was thinking about it, and I really kind of liked what, you know, the look of this back, you know, kind of thruster cowl piece, especially down here at the bottom with the little notch cut out. And I really wanted to extend that in other places on, you know, on the unicorn. And I think the ankle is probably going to be one of the best places for that, right? So I think what we're going to be doing is making just a little notch right there on the sides of these ankles, right? Nothing crazy, just a little thing. Just kind of like that, right? Just like that. And then what we'll end up doing is to duplicate that on the other side here, right? So it'll kind of look like that, if you could see it, if it focused. Focus, there we go. So that's basically what we were kind of intending, what we're going for. And I think that'll look really nice. I think that'll look good. So, without any further ado, let us commence, yeah? First things first, what we're going to end up doing here is to make sure that the pieces that we cut out of this thing are all, you know, perfectly symmetrical with one another. So, use a bit of a scribing jig here to make our top line. Just like that. And then you can really get a precision cut with all of these. So we're just going to cut in right about there. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side here. And we're basically just cutting in at like a 45-degree angle, maybe a little less. Just like that. And then just start to carefully trim this plastic out here down to our mark, right? Okay. Looks pretty good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see, find our square file in the mess here. Or actually, we can actually use our triangular file. So this file has a triangular cross section, and we can just use this to flatten this surface here, right? Just like that. That's not too bad. But the square one would be a lot better. Here it is. Here's our square one. And this says a square profile. Simple, right? Simple. So Just get this surface nice and even. Just like that. And then there you go. There's our little cutout, right? Pretty simple. For all intents and purposes, right? Pretty simple. So we'll duplicate the same thing on the other side here. So, let's see. Come in at about a 45. And then same thing on the other side. And then just start trimming the plastic away down to your mark line. Pretty simple. And this type of look, I think, looks good, honestly, pretty much anywhere where there's a nice kind of open, you know, flat space at the end of a panel. You know, you put something like this to break the visual monotony, and I think this, I think this is a really, really good look, right? Oh, come on, focus. There we go. Okay. So now, we'll take our file again. Just kind of flatten down that little inset surface there. Just like that. A little bit of fine-tuning on the edges, but then there you go, right? So that's one side, or one piece done. So that's looking good. Now let's do the corresponding side here on the other ankle armor. And get our top line. And then we'll go 45 degrees. Roughly 45 degrees. Same thing on the other side, and we just start to trim that plastic out of there. Okay. Alright, so that looks good there. Let's flatten this out with our square file again. Just like that. A little fine tuning. And then there's that little cutout there. So let's get these onto the leg. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. But I think these are going to look really quite nice. I think so. I think so. All right. So let's get this lined back up there. And let's get a foot on this thing. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. See? Really nice right there. Really nice. I like that. I like that a lot right there. Now, another thing that we can do, and this is kind of an added type of thing, because we've opened this up a lot right here and exposed the inner ankle there, and there's a lot of space in there. Even bent back this way, there's still a ton of space in there on that ankle block, right? What we could do, we could add something onto this ankle block, and what I'm thinking is this. What I'm thinking is like a circular detail right there, right? So here, let's take that off of here. Let's pop the foot back on. And let's just very carefully slide this thing right in there like that and see. That may be too big, but it actually looks pretty. No, that's actually perfect. That's got perfect clearance. Yeah. So that... Ooh, oh, it slid. Damn it. I have to prop this thing up a little bit for it to... There we go. Yeah. I like that. I like that. It's just something, just a little pop, right? Just a little pop of detail. Yeah. It's just a little something, something. Just a little peek, right? Sometimes that's all it takes. Just a little peek. I dig it. I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's what we're going to do. Let's get caught up with the chat, shall we? We haven't talked to anybody today. Let's talk to people. Yeah? Alex Andrews is over there on YouTube. He says, legit, I've been thinking it's Saturday, so was surprised when saw you going live. Yeah, well, it seems like every day's Saturday now, almost, right? It's weird like that. Let's see. Charles Dodge says, and don't forget about making sure camera 2 is on and ready. Alex says, I think you mean camera 3. Maybe. I don't know. Hey now. Actually, I've been thinking about getting a third camera involved because the overhead camera, while it's awesome and everything, it has somewhat of a limited use, right? Especially when I need to be like right over top of it and you see my big freaking noggin, you know? It's not great to look at, I admit. Or you see the visor or whatever. So almost what I'm thinking is maybe have one like right here pointing down onto the workspace, right? And because I have another camera, and shit, who knows? Yeah, dedicated super zoom cam. No, unfortunately not. Because basically what has happened is Canon has released a beta version of a new piece of software that will allow their DSLRs and some of their point and shoots to act as a webcam. Yeah, like, and it's free, right? So I have my I have my 5D Mark II, kind of just sitting, you know, taking up space at this point. Why not put it to work, right? So that's a possibility. But then I also have another little camera body, a T7, that we might be able to utilize too. So I'm thinking about it. We'll see. We'll see. So you never know. There might be a camera 3 one day. Let's see. Sam L's over there on YouTube. He says, "What's up, everybody?" He says, "Taking a break to watch the stream while my 2 new corgis sleep." Aw. Congratulations. Adorable. Let's see. RF Aurora, Mr. Andrews over there on YouTube. He says, "Hi, all." Let's see. Sam L says, we now have 2 corgis, 2 poms, and a cat that is bigger than all of them. Damn. Ranger Chris was over there on YouTube. He says, was about to say you might not want to cut in that manner. Only matter of time till you cut too deep. Oh, no, trust me, man, we know exactly the level to cut that line, right? Don't cross the line. Let's see. Ranger Chris continues. He says, "Was not expecting to be on for that early, but lesson got scrubbed due to marine layer." I don't know what that is. It's all good, though. I never reloaded. Hey, he's back with us. Look at that. Hey, brother, what's going on? What's up, dude? Thank you for coming back. We're working on something a little bit different today. We alternate between builds, but thanks for hanging out with us. Brandon says, "Fun till June?" Damn right. Chris Pabs is over there on YouTube. He says, "Hey guys, very busy today, but I'm listening in the background. Hope you all have a fantastic day." Thank you, Pabby. Appreciate you. Let's see. Gert McDirt's over there on YouTube. He says, "Howdy, folks. What's going on, man?" VFX10 Viper says, "Nice." Gert says, "I dig it." Let's see. RF Aurora says, "Resin." What about it? No. There's no resin casting in this. This is not new. Alex Andrews says, "If every day was a Saturday, I'd be doing a 12 p.m. till 10 p.m. at work." Ugh. No, thank you. Ranger Chris, dedicated super zoom cam? Nah. Could also try POV cam. Those never work. They never work. Pabs says, "I'm here. What? I heard resin." And then Andrew says, "Just seeing how much attention Pabs is paying to the stream." Wow. He pulled the Pabs lure. He just lured him right in. Hook, line, and sinker, man. Ranger Chris had not heard that. Granted, my 7D can't use it because of the video not auto-focusing, but could be useful, yeah. Charles Dodds says, makes sense since pretty much any DSLR made in the last 7 years has the hardware for webcam reuse. It's just a software problem. Yeah, at this point, it totally is. There's another piece of software out there, and I forget what the name is, but it's similar, and I think at this point a little bit more elegant than the Canon piece of software, because that's still in beta at this point. So I'm sure they'll get their. I'm sure Canon will do it up, and when they release the full version, it'll be nice. But it's handicapped right now to something like 576p, something like that. So it's not even full HD, right? And it's limited to 30 FPS. Now, that doesn't matter for us because that's what we shoot in anyways, and from what you're seeing, it's perfectly fine. But for like gamers and stuff, that's rather important because they'd rather shoot in 60 FPS. But the resolution is what matters for us, and having that low of a resolution as of right this second is just, it's not doable. But there is another piece of software, and it's unfortunately a paid piece of software that you can get that will communicate with your camera. And it's not just Canon's. You can get it for Nikon, you can get it for Sony's DSLRs and stuff like that. And they will, basically it communicates with the camera, and it disables any of the auto shutdown features, and brings the quality over USB, and it's, you know, full HD, the whole 9 yards, which, you know, you can use as a webcam, which is really, and I've seen videos on it, and it's really quite a nice little setup. So I'm kind of thinking of that, but shit, with Canon releasing the news on their beta yesterday, I'm like, maybe I should wait, right? I don't know. Especially getting the full frame involved, the 5D Mark II. I mean, you think like this is quality. This is a crop sensor, what's called an APS-C. Now, for those of you non-photo nerds, you won't really care what that means, but having the difference between this camera and what's called a full frame camera, which is my 5D Mark II, oh, oh yeah, that quality difference I think would be big time. So I don't know. We'll think about it and see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. Ranger Chris has got a question for us.
We have a question.
He says, by the way, on the topic of streaming software, what do you use to do the multi-stream? Been looking to add that functionality to my streams. So I actually use a service called Restream, and I pay for that. I think it's like I think it's about $120 every year. And they have a free version, mind you. They have a free version where you can stream on YouTube, Twitch. I think Twitter is in there, and a bunch of other different platforms. But the one that's missing is Facebook. Facebook you got to pay for. Yeah. So yeah, I use Restream. Now, mind you, Streamlabs, which is the broadcasting software that I use, Streamlabs OBS, actually has multi-streaming built into it now. But from what I remember, and Pabs uses it, and I don't know how effective it is. But I know he multi-streams, I think, on YouTube and, correct me if I'm wrong, Pabby, Facebook at the same time. I don't know if you can do more than 2, though. That's the... He says, I'm here. How many channels can you multi-stream on through Streamlabs now, Pabs? 2, or how many? Because that's what we were asking, and I know you do that on your streams. He says YouTube and Facebook only right now. Yeah, so I think Streamlabs only limits it to two social media platforms. But you can alternate, you know, so it can be YouTube and Facebook, YouTube and Twitch, Twitch and Facebook, what have you, right? Something like that. So that's a decent free kind of introduction to multi-streaming. Obviously, Restream, you know, you do pay for that if you want to be on you know, have it on Facebook. But there's a ton of platforms where, you know, you can get it for free. There's no watermark or anything like that. So Pab says you can't do Twitch and YouTube for some reason. Probably because they compete, right? That would be my guess anyways. But I don't know. It is weird that you can't do it at the same time. But I don't know. Restream, you can do it. Let's see. If you wanted to go the route of potentially having guests on, like we do on Mechanism and stuff like that, that's a piece of software called StreamYard, and that actually has multi-streaming built into it as well, which is actually kind of nice. But the downside of that is that their video quality is limited to 720p, where I stream in full 1080, full high def, you know, to all the platforms, well, except for Facebook, because Facebook downgrades it to 720. So that's kind of shitty, but what are you gonna do? It's Facebook. Yeah, that's what I use, Chris. That's what I use. Z's with us. He says, "Wait for the beta to be improved, Tim. Canon gonna change the game for us." Yeah, And that's kind of the intent, right? Canon's going hard, man. They've got the R5 coming out, and there's rumors of R6 and R7 already, being even crazier than the R5 that's supposed to come out. That shoots in that shoots in 8K RAW with full autofocus and IBIS. Fuck me, man. Like, that is insane. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully one day I can afford the camera. I don't know. We'll see, right? Yeah, so I think Canon is trying to hit on all sides with their web streaming, or their, you know, the software that's in beta and everything, like we talked about. And yeah, I think, man, I think Canon's really, they've had enough of everybody's shit. It's basically what it's come down to. And they were just like, you know what? Screw it. We're done with you guys. Let's just balls to the wall, full blazing cannons. Like, forget about it. Like, they're leaving everybody in the dust. So, let's see. Ranger Chris says only need Twitch and YouTube. Will look into that. Yeah, so if you need Twitch and YouTube, then what I would say is Restream. You can do that for free on through Restream. So yeah, look into that, and yeah, that'll get you right where you need to be. Alex Andrews says, is it meant to be a DMC mechanism this week? I don't know. Maybe. Chris Pab says they need to up their guest count, though. Yeah, big time. And I know Gage, the chief, the owner and the chief programmer for Restream, he has said that they are actively working on it. So it's a work in progress. But this is the cool thing, though. Restream is looks like they're making it looks almost like they're making a StreamYard clone within Restream itself, because I looked at that today before we got on, and they've got a native webcam broadcasting suite that you can go through, and it's they're working to level it up, and they've got, you know, you got the logo in the corner, powered by Restream, and then it looks just like powered by StreamYard. You can do overlays, you can do backgrounds, you can highlight comments. Like, it is almost a clone of StreamYard. It's awesome. So shit, if I can leverage that, save myself $200 a year, yeah. We'll see, though. We'll see. Chris Pab says the green room sucks. Yeah, no, it does. Trust me, I know it does. It does fucking suck. And I hate putting people in the green room, but it's just, my hands are tied at that point. Ranger Chris says, don't need the multi-stream, at least for the foreseeable future. Gotcha. He says also R5 for stream cam and 8K. Oh, can you imagine that? Jesus, man. Pab says Streamlabs OBS is a good option if you're only going to do one dedicated platform. Absolutely. That's what I use. I love it. Z says, I know I'm thinking about cheating on Sony. Canon went and got all sexy for me, right? Patrick Robertson, he says, what can you view 8K format on? Nothing at this point, actually. Absolutely nothing. Nothing streams 8K footage or anything. There are, and like Ranger Chris said, there are 8K TVs. But he says there is also some 8K content on YouTube. Interesting. I didn't know that. There's really not much out there right now. The good part about 8K, shooting in 8K, is that it gives the filmmaker options for cropping down. So say if you do this nice wide shot, you know, you can crop down in, say, like the lower left corner and get a shot. But then, if you wanted something completely different, you could crop in the upper right corner, and it would be completely separate and different, right? So that's the beauty of shooting in 8K footage. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Where do we leave off? Ranger Chris says, "Come to the Canon side. We have cookies." To Z. Yeah, I'm a Canon guy. So, I never reloaded over there on Twitch. It says, "I'm good, man. Just watching some Gunpla builds." Nice. Z says, "Haha, I was there in their early video days and might have to come back." Man, it's a tough call. The difference between Sony and Canon right now, it depends on how this R5 is real, really works, right? All the specs and everything sound like it's the holy grail of cameras, right? But what happens if it comes out and it's an absolute pooper? That would suck. And that would be so bad for Canon. Like, they have to hit this one out of the park. Like, full grand slam. For this to even match the level of anticipation that it's seeing, right? And I know this isn't a camera stream or anything like that, but this has to do with the streaming aspect of this, right? Yeah, man, it's just, I hope they knock it out of the park. I really, really, really do, because that's going to up the expectation level of the other camera makers too, right? Sony right now, I think, is full on king of video as of right now. Their color profiles aren't nearly as good as Canon's, but their autofocus and their low light capabilities are just out of this world. So, I think for a lot of shooters, yeah, Sony's still king as of right now for video. But that may change. R4 says, Pab sent you a resin question on IG. Alexander says, I'm going to log off early tonight. Catch y'all tomorrow. Stay safe. Enjoy the stream. Hashtag support Tim. Aw, thank you, Alex. Appreciate you, buddy. Z says, the green room should have its own hangout area for us guests to have our own party. Yeah, I mean, there should be some level of view or communication back there, but I don't know. We'll see, right? Ranger Chris says, just search 8K. Some will pop up. Shoot 8K and zoom in to 4K or super zoom to 1080. Yeah, see, that's kind of the thing. He says, think right now the main problem Canon will have with the R5 will most likely be supplying and getting them to people in significant numbers to get a broad enough set of opinions on it. Yeah. That and the price of oh, hey now, Gunpla Miami Chris, what's going on? Hosting. Thank you, buddy. The media that the R5 is using, the CF Express, there's not a ton of CF Express cards. Blah, say that 3 times fast. There's not a ton of them out there on the market, and they're expensive at this point. So if that's your gateway into shooting your 8K raw, that's another investment that you have to make, right? Because it's got dual card slots, one CF Express and then the other, which is just SD. You can probably shoot 4K on your SD card, but the CF Express, that's it. You want 8K, you're gonna need that. Ranger Chris says, is that a new format? It's relatively new. Yeah. There's not a lot of cameras that use it right now, but it's very fast and you can shoot a lot of footage. It's a big card size. So yeah, it is relatively on the newer side, CF Express. It replaces the CF card format from years and years and years ago. So it's a lot better than having to have an SSD or even an external one for that matter, because like the red cameras and stuff like that, they all require SSDs, and I think some of the reds are proprietary SSDs, which is just stupid expensive. So having a lesser but still costly option, I think is, you know, it's good. It's a good thing. But yeah, a CF Express card right now I think is still the lowest end. I think is still over $100 for a card. Last time I checked, mind you, and this was months ago. So yeah, losing that card, that's a tough. That would be a tough break, or heaven forbid, having that card get corrupted. An SD card, yeah, no problem. I can replace a 256 card for what, $60, $50, $40, something like that. Shit, it may be even less now. I don't even know. But replacing $100+ CF card, oof, yeah. Sad day in the neighborhood. Anyway, enough camera talk. This is not child of Canon. This is child of Mecha. So back on the build, right? Even though I know Z and Pabs and some others, Chris probably enjoy the camera talk, and you know it's fun to kind of delve into, right? But yeah, let's build, shall we? So okay, so I really like the look of having a roundy bit there. I think that looks fitting. Right, so we will add that at a later date. We're going to put this little guy off to the side here. And then we're going to continue working on especially the side angle, or side ankle armor here, right? So let's take that off here. Let's get this back removed from this piece, and let's continue on here because I want to do a couple other things to this before we call this piece done. Now, one of the big things we need to do is to outline scribe this piece here to make it look separate, right? So for that, we're going to go ahead and pull in, let's see, probably 0.15, because the one thing that I'm noticing here is this inset, and it's hard to see there, but there you can see it kind of in the highlights, right? There's an inset shape here, and there's not a ton of space between that and the actual you know, side armor piece there. So what I think we're going to go with, I think we're going to go instead with a 0.15. Normally we would do you know, 0.20, but I think for this we'll scale it back a bit and do 0.15. I think that'll probably look better and give us a little bit of headroom between that and the inset part, right? So let's just get to cutting on this thing, shall we? All right, so we're gonna start at the top first. Just get that line cut in. That's very simple, right? And then we'll just come down, just make our way down this part here, following the contour. Get this top line just a little bit deeper there. Good there. All right, so now we just need to make this front-facing scribe, and I think the 0.15 was a good choice because it still leaves a little room between this ankle part and that little inset. So I think this will look really quite good, especially when this is primed, painted, and panel lined, right? Okay. And then we'll wrap this panel line down around the bottom here, just in case, just to do our due diligence, right? Doesn't take a lot of time, doesn't take a lot of effort, but just in case somebody might see that, it's good to do that, right? It's good to do that. So, let's see, decent little shadow there. Just real quick, I was remiss in opening the Mecha Army page. And Robert Cottrell, he's over there, he says, "Hey Tim," he said that a few minutes ago. And Robert, I'm sorry, I saw the comment, but kind of blazed past that here. He says, "Why not Nikon?" Oh man, Nikon right now for video and streaming purposes and stuff like that is kind of the odd man out. They were okay with video, not great. But they're any attention for like streaming and like for using the cameras as webcams and stuff, they have absolutely zero clue about it. There's a guy I follow on YouTube. What's his name? Harris. Shit. God, what's that kid's name? Well, he's not really a kid. He's probably my age. But he makes a ton of videos about streaming and things of that nature. And you know, he's a much bigger streamer than myself. But he Alpha Gaming is his YouTube channel, and he makes a ton of great tutorials and stuff like that, and videos about streaming. And he he goes to the conventions and stuff like that, like TwitchCon and CES and all of that, all of the camera, or the places where the camera people would want to show out, right? So he went to, I think it was CES, and he asked the big three in the camera industry, Canon, Sony, and Nikon, about their streaming capabilities. Canon was the only one that actually showed interest in it. Sony was just kind of like, it's not really on our radar. We're more dedicated to video and photos. And Nikon didn't even know that DSLRs could work as streaming cameras. So that's kind of a big reason right there, right? They didn't even, and that's crazy. And it could have been just one person at their booth, but they didn't even know, and that's kind of embarrassing, honestly. But Canon evidently, whatever convention he went to, and I like I said, I think it was CES. They actually had a portion of their booth dedicated to streamers and gamers and stuff like that, that use Canon cameras. And he said that was the only one out of the big three that actually had a dedicated space for that. So you can kind of see the intent, just based on that, based on this beta piece of software that they've come out, that yeah, they wanna become the big boy in this segment, right? which I can't blame them because this whole pandemic has really kind of brought streaming to the forefront for good reason, right? So, yeah, Nikon sadly is in a distant third place at this point for kind of the things that we do. So, yeah. Let's see. Ranger Chris says, price of getting into a tech on ground floor. Yeah, the CF Express, right? Gunpla Miami says, look at that leg. Thank you, man. Yes. Ranger Chris says, nice to have an off-topic chat now and again. Absolutely. Bill, Mr. Ruslam, he's over there on YouTube. He's with us. He says, howdy, y'all. What's going on, Bill? Z says, we need a camera talk stream one day. Yeah, we could probably do that. We could probably do that. I mean, hell, we could talk cameras, we could talk streaming, we could talk all that stuff, and just kind of, I could break the whole thing down for you guys, you know, about what I do and how I create things and all that. I mean, if you guys are interested, of course, you know, but, yeah, I'm not opposed to that. It's a fun topic. I'm not going to lie. It's a fun topic because it's a whole nother skill set outside of modeling, right? So, yeah. R4 says, holy crap, was looking over resin conversion kits on Musigan Hobby. Artisan Club finally did a Raider conversion from seed. Interesting. Julius Dembski, Sarge, what's going on? He says, hello everyone. You all were just speaking in a language that I do not understand. Technical electronic stuff. No, trust me, Sarge. I totally get that. I totally get that. This is not camera talk. This is definitely more modeling stuff, but it had to do with streaming and, you know, some things that have come up in the next couple, or have come up in the past couple of days. So we were just kind of touching on it, and then we kind of got carried away. So, but Julius continues, says, I looked at those resin kits in response to Andrew. He says, I've wondered about the quality. Pabs, any input on their conversion kits? Musigan, from what I've always heard, is really good quality. I know Zach did some work with them, and they sent him some kits, and I think he was overall pretty happy with you know, the quality. Artisan Club is very good. So yeah, but Pab says, Artisan Club is the same group that made the Double Zeta bust I made a while ago, the Wing Zero bust, and the Calamity that I made. I have nothing bad to say about them. Great quality. There you go. Let's see. Ascension Industries is with us over there on YouTube. He says, hey guys, what's going on? Andrew says, I wish I could get that Calamity still. Need two so I can make the normal and the sword Calamity. There you go. Let's see. Pab says, one thing that a lot of people don't know is that Artisan Club very rarely makes a second run of their kits, so if you can get it, I suggest you do. There you go. Ranger Chris says, mechanism idea, get a group of opinions on the subject. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Oh, Musigan is just a distributor. Ah, I did not know that. Okay, fair enough. Gert Madirk says, I'm not planning to get into it myself, but I'd be interested in a camera / streaming stream for sure. Yeah, man, we can do it one day. That's definite. Yeah. Now, mind you, if you guys want to, you know, learn more about like photography and stuff like that, like I mentioned yesterday on last night's stream, Justin, Mr. Justinius Builds, he did a live stream yesterday just before mine, and he broke out just the full-on photography class. So go hit that up later, you know, after this stream, of course. But man, he broke it all down. Settings, posing, different looks and backgrounds and stuff like that. Really comprehensive. It's an hour and a half long, and I highly recommend it. Definitely go watch it and learn from Justin, because he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about. So, all right, back to it. Let's jump back into this thing, right? Because we, like I said, we kind of we went off topic. You know, it's not a bad thing. Ranger Chris says, need to watch that. Gert Dirt says, oh cool, I'll hit that up next. There you go. There you go. Good stuff. All right, so we've got our outline scribe here. That's looking really quite nice. Now, kind of the big thing, what do we do with this this back armor here? So I have an idea. And we're gonna need, let's see, 1.5, right? Let's get a little sandpaper in the mix here so we can kind of get some graphite on this thing. And we're not going to do anything too dramatic here. Just something simple, subtle, right? I like subtle. I like simple. Sometimes. All right, so we've got the 1.5 millimeter scribing jig here, and we're just going to lock that right up onto the edge of this piece. Hopefully we can hold that in place. Jesus, probably not. Oh, damn it! Now I just dropped the scribing jig. Stay right there. I'll be right back. Where'd it go? Here it is. Ah, it's under the shelf. Come on, you gotta be kidding me. There we go. I got it. Don't you just love it when you drop shit on the floor and it goes under the shelf just perfectly enough where you can't get your fingers in there? Yeah. Whoa! Ranger Chris says, oh wow, Testors just announced they are ending the Model Master line. Wow. Testors is hurting, it seems. I don't know. I always thought Model Masters was halfway decent, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I mean, it wasn't great, but it's halfway decent, right? Anyway. Alright, so this should help us with our marking needs here. Just like that. Now I can steady my hand here, and we're just gonna pop a line right over there like that, right? So now what I'm doing is I'm kind of taking a page out of the back skirt here, right? Because if you remember what we did here on the back skirt down at the bottom, just very simplistic. Just a nice, a thicker panel line here, and then just kind of marked the edges, so to speak. And I think that's what we're going to do here with this, with the back edge of this as well. We're going to kind of offset the two lines a bit. So, what we're going to end up doing here is make our first line at 0.30, right? And that's going to run the back length of this piece. All right, let's see if we can't get this nice and steady here. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're locked in. Good stuff. All right. Whoa. Scribing jig jumped on me there. But that's okay. God, come on. Yeah, he just keeps jumping. So I think we got the groove set in here enough to where we don't need it anymore. So let's that set. Here we are. Turn this around, go from the other side. There we are. Much, much better. Alright, so now we'll need to wrap these around the piece. This is not the easiest piece to hold on to, I'm going to tell you that right now. But we got this. We got this. Okay. There's one side. Let's wrap this around the other side here. The bottom edge. Okay. There we are. That looks pretty good. All right, so now we're going to switch it up and offset the that big old line with 0.15, right? And just like on the back skirt, how we kind of defined the corners here, right? We have a little scribe line here and one over here to differentiate those corners. We're going to do the same thing on this, and we're going to come right across here. And we're going to accent that tip, just that little corner piece, right? And I think that'll look really very simplistic, very nice. I think it'll just be a good look, right? Get this on camera though. All right. Here we are. All right. So let's get this nice finish sanded, and then we'll check our work and see what we've got here, right? We'll even sand the edges here real quick, just on that one side, though. All right. Make sure all the dust and debris and junk are out of the lines here. All right. So there's the 0.15. Let's go back to the 0.3 and make sure the main line here is nice and clean. Yeah, very nice. Okay, good, good. Good, good, good. All right, so let's get this whole thing back together. And I want to see what everything kind of looks like here when it's all nice and put back together. Let's see. Come on. Oh, shit. Well, it'd be good if I had it on the right way, right? This is actually backwards. Son of a bitch. It's part of the problem when you have symmetrical pegs on both sides, right? There we go. That's much better. Shit. Can't believe I did that. Anyway. Oh well. Alright. And let's get the foot on here. Yeah. See, that's just... I love that little... Just that little little peak right there, just that little corner being kind of quarantined on its own, right? Really a nice look. Really, really a nice look. All right, so we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, yank that off. Yank the foot off. Let's get the ankle armor separated here. And we'll also pull off the knee armor here too, because we're not going to need that. It's just getting in the way. Now, one thing that we need to kind of address here is the cleanup here within this little section, right? Mainly because we got to fill that. Mainly because we need this to be completely clean, so we can end up painting and everything, and just get the seam cleaned up here, because part of this will be exposed as well. So having this nice and clean will allow us to get a nice flat paint job right there, right? Alright, so there's that. So, now what we did was I went ahead and I put a little super glue on the sides here, and we just need to trim that right now. And just flatten those out. Get it all blended in, get it feathered and all that good stuff, right? Alright. Excellent. That side is nice and flat there. Let's work on here. This is a bit of a difficult piece, because this is a kind of a compound style curve in here, because you've got it curving this way, but then you also have it kind of curving this way too, right? And it's just an odd little angle. But then you have this knee part here that just kind of is there. It's a super annoying and gets in the way, right? There we go. Whoa, hey now. Put that over there. Let's get our scraper here, because I always forget that this BMC, the Tsuji Borido scraper, comes with this rounded edge too. I always forget about it, and because I always use the angled edge, but for this particular part right here, oh, this is the perfect tool right here. It's the absolute perfect tool, and that actually did a quite nice job. Now we can invert this thing and kind of start to go to town on everything else here. Get that bevel back in there. Very nice. Okay. All right, let's see what we're gonna need to do next. We're gonna pull out the 1.5, one of the big boys, right? And we're gonna try to smooth this little internal section right here out a little bit. I think we just about got it. Let's get the top parts of these cut off there. Hopefully these little scrolls of plastic will pop right off. There we go. Just like that. That's what we're looking for. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. There we are. Just that little corner needs some cleaning. And let's see. Just scrape this area flat again. Just very, very carefully, right? Just very, very carefully. Oof. All right, that should be pretty good. Let's switch back to the straight side of the scraper here. This is the side that I always use, right? Let's go back here and just kind of even everything out. A little bit of smoothing right there. All right. I think that looks pretty good. One thing that we need to do is fill in just a little nook and cranny on that. That's all stopped up, isn't it? It is. Nope, still stopped up. All right. This right here is the perfect tool to unclog your super glue bottle. It's just the pin. And there it goes. Perfect. Perfect. Easy peasy. All right, so we'll grab a little scrap piece of plastic here, There's our palette with our super glue. And what we're doing here is there's this little, let's see, focus. There's this little gap right here, and you can kind of see it right there between this section and that section. We need to fill that in. Just a little too much void right there. So, just load that up with some super glue. And we'll let that sit off to the side to cure completely. I don't want to put Instaset on it right now, because what'll happen is that glue will run. I want it to stay in that spot, right? So by not putting Instaset on it, it does take you know, longer to cure, obviously, but it is it's going to be a cleaner job once it does cure, to, you know, fully clean that up and everything. So it'll be fine. All right, let's get caught up in the chat, shall we? All right, let's see. Oh, let's see. Senshin Industries says Testers was the first hobby paints I bought in '88. I think they were probably the first ones for a lot of us. Z says, for us, I think the typical players like Tamiya, Mr. Color, Vallejo, etc. work best. I agree. Gert McDirt says, are there any other brands I've really only used / heard of? Humbrol, Model Masters, I guess, and Tamiya. Z says, SMS, MIG, AK paints, yeah, Splash if you're into 2K. Splash, it's not, you know, all Splash paints are not 2K. Only their primers and top coats are. But you can use other top coats and primers with Splash. Splash is just a lacquer-based, you know, it's a solvent-based acrylic, just like Mr. Color, just like, you know, SMS and the like. So yeah, you don't. It's not necessarily a 2K option for everything. Bill says, Z, if they are looking for enamels, then Humbrol or Model Masters is the best from everything I have heard or know. Yeah. Gert Madur says, nice, didn't know those had enamel lines. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Z says, I would take Model Masters over Humbrol. Humbrol paints don't have a great shelf life, but yes, enamel lines are limited. Bill says, Gert, in our hobby, we mostly use either acrylic or solvent-based lacquers. Enamels are only really used as washes. He continues, says, I've never had a problem with the Humbrol shelf life. Let's see. Ranger Chris, in response to Bill, more often than not, it's what you can regularly get for paints that dictates what you use. It's very true. Let's see. Andrew says, enamels are for reverse washes, too. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of reverse washes, though, but that's just me. Gert says, I've mainly stuck to acrylics, but I've veered toward lacquers recently as I finally set up the ventilation for them. I do have a couple Tamiya enamels for mixing washes, though. He says, do you guys prefer acrylic for detail painting over enamels? That's where I hear a lot of different options or opinions. Whew, excuse me. Bill says, in response to Ranger Chris, more often than not, it is a question of going to the right place to find what you need. Sometimes you have to get creative to discover what is best. Yeah, there's validity to that. Ty Furious says, each type of paint has their pros and cons. You can always read or watch videos about them, but sometimes it comes down to preference and or the effect that you want to achieve. True. Bill says, I saw a post the other day where a builder bemoaned his results with Rust-Oleum clear coats. He ran out of Mr. Super Clear and didn't have any shops locally that were open and carried it. So he went to Lowe's and got the Rust-Oleum. I asked why he didn't order off the internet. He said he didn't want to wait. Ugh. The likely excuse, right? Now he has to try and strip it all and repaint it from scratch. Ugh. That, yeah. That kills me inside, honestly. Z says, I've used them before right out of the spray can. Also use Marine Corps motto, adapt, improvise, overcome, right? Gert Madert says, makes sense. I've gotten decent with hand painting acrylics smoothly. Enamels seem like they're probably a bit easier for a smooth result, but yeah, it depends on preference and technique for sure. Typhurious says, Rust-Oleum tends to be thick. Krylon might have been better if someone wanted to go cheap, but then to me a rattle can you'd be best. Yeah. Is your best bet, I guess, is what he was trying to say. R4 Andrew says, my USA Gundam store will be here in a week as long as nothing gets messed up on the USPSN. Nice. I like it. I like it. Ascension Industries says, Bill, that sucks. Patience, Padawan. Yeah. Yeah. But you see that all the time, especially on Facebook, right? Why didn't you order online? Oh, I didn't want to wait. Like, come on, dude. Like, would you rather wait 2-3 days, a week, 2 weeks? Or would you rather waste your money and your time and buy something cheap, it go on terrible, and then you have to restrip and paint the whole thing over again? I know where my decision is. It's an easy decision. You fucking wait. You know, it's like a no-brainer. But, yeah, man, some people, I don't get it. Some people, they just do not want to wait. Like, that's the worst thing in the world for them, right? I'll never get it. I'll never get it. Anyway, off my soapbox. Okay. So, let's see. This one needs to be cleaned up as well, but I think what we'll do is save that until after the show, because we already cleaned up one. You guys don't need to see that again, right? But let's check the option. Let's check the... Oh yeah, see, that's all cured. That's good. Okay, so let's see if we can't clean this up here right quick. Okay. Needs a little bit more. It sank in a little bit too much, so it needs a bit more, a little bit more on top there. There we go. Get a nice little bubble of it. And you know what? I'm actually going to go ahead and use a little bit of that little Insta-Set here. Yeah, it's still completely liquid right now. We'll give that a few seconds. Alright, so let's take inventory of what we still have to do here, because I think that's going to be important moving forward, right? Let's see, we've got the foot done, we've got all that done. I don't think I'm going to do too much to these. We obviously need to seam line the bazookas and everything. That'll be a fun chore, right? But I don't think I want to customize any of this. I think it'd just be kind of a waste at this point, right? And what I was referring to is the backpack, right? Like I said, we need to seam line the bazookas and stuff. Kind get that done up. But the backpack itself is basically being hidden completely by all this stuff. So that's not a huge priority at this point. We still could use some details on the chest, and then we still need to finish out the head and all that. The arms we're good on. We completed the arms. The arms are perfectly fine and good, nicely detailed and all that good stuff. So that's a plus. The gun, I don't think we're gonna really do too much with. And the shields, I don't know. I don't think I want to do anything with the shields either. I think the shields are fine as is. I think it's just honestly a big waste of my time on the shields. Let's see. But the one things that we really do need to focus on are these big boys right here. We definitely need to show these some love, right? Now this one here, I went ahead and seamed this, cleaned it up and everything, you know, for the most part. But we need to get this detailed, and then we need to get its twin detailed as well, right? And I think I'm just gonna stick with the single thruster on these. Just like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. But the caps are both cut. So those are ready to rock and roll to be popped into the backpack. So that's easy. So I think we'll probably tackle these next time that we're on this. Tomorrow morning, or tomorrow afternoon, obviously, we are going to be working on the now 2021 GBWC entry. And then tomorrow night, obviously, is Mechanism. So the next time that we'll work on this is probably going to be Tuesday, if truth be told. Because Monday, there's going to be a bit of a surprise for Monday. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. But let's get caught up with the chat here a little bit, yeah? Ascension Industries says, I have ordered supplies from China months in advance just because I might need them. That's actually a good call. It's actually a good call. Gert Madurk says, especially on Reddit, but that's not a given, eh? Yeah, good old Reddit. Ranger Chris says there's also the issue of if you only need a bottle or two and be stuck paying the shipping costs, since it does seem like they all use flat rate shipping. Yeah, I mean, it's better to have and not need than need and not have. That's what I always say when it comes to supplies and stuff like that, right? Let's see. Ascension Industries says, my cat is in the chair watching with me. He wants to build an SD kit. That is a talented cat. Bill says, in response to Ranger Chris, he says, at that point, I would either add to my cart to make it more worthwhile, especially if it is free shipping or over X amount of dollars, or I would wait until I could get it from somewhere else. Fair. Andrew says, why not put the bazookas on armatures so they can come up over the shoulders? It's just not the look I'm going for, Andrew. You know, I want a more kind of classic looking full armor, and I think mounted to the backpack I think is going to be definitely the route I want to go. Plus, I really don't want to put a lot of work into this thing, more than what I'm putting into it. Because I just don't like this build. I want to get it over with, to be honest with you. If we're being deadpan honest, I just want to get it over with. And plus, you know, this piece is going down to Adam and the crew at USA Gundam Store, and that's going to be its permanent home. So I would like to get that down there soon, you know, especially, you know, in time for them to reopen the retail front and all that, hopefully. So, you know, we'll see, right? We'll see. I'm not holding my breath, though. Let's see. Bill says, Ascension, don't let him see the Hello Kitty Gundam. Speaking of his cat, yeah, right? Tashi's over there on YouTube. He's got a question. Picked up a car model kit that comes with some pre-painted chrome parts. Some have to be glued, like the door handles. Any tips on how, without messing up paint on either piece? I would probably say look for PVA glue. I know they make some clear... they make some clear glues for those types of applications, especially for like canopies and stuff like that for airplanes. So I would probably look for that type of glue and use that. The ones that, you know, the ones that are, you know, anti-fogging glues and stuff. So yeah, that's what I would probably go for. So let's see. Charles Dodge has a question. We have a question. He says, will you be taking a short break from your GBWC build and do a palette cleanser kit? No, I'm full steam ahead on the GBWC thing. The palette cleanser is the other build that we do, right? Which this SD kit is not a palette cleanser in the fucking least. It's more like chewing a box of nails. It's just painful and annoying. So to answer your question, Charles, no. But what I will be doing is picking up another second build after this, which I've already decided will be the Hayaku Shiki 2.0. Wow, that'll be the next build after we're done with this. But that probably won't be for at least a little bit, right? So, Ranger Chris says, you're better off stripping that fake chrome and painting it yourself. Will look better and you will have fewer issues. Decent. And Bill says the day stream is the palette cleanser. There you go, right? Brandon says, yeah, shipping is the killer. The bash box is possibly lost by USPS. Oh, so I bought 2 kits to send to the next person so they could get it going again. Shipping was basically the cost of a cheap high-grade kit. Damn. How does that happen? How did they fucking lose the box? Bastards. Bill says, wait, the box is missing? Oh, man, that sucks. Yeah, it really does. Ascension Industries says, hi, said Hello Kitty Gundam and he meowed. Aw. Brandon says, it's not officially lost yet, Bill, just stuck in Massachusetts sorting facility. A case is open and they are working on it. Wow. Brandon says, but I didn't want to keep the rest of the people waiting, so I sent the next person a couple kits from USA Gundam. Then they can add to it and keep it moving. Nice. Tashi, in response to Ranger Chris, says, no chrome paint now, sadly, but definitely had that thought. Yeah. You know, in this weird time, we're working with what we got, I guess, right? So, yeah. Merritt Philbin, he's over there on YouTube. He says, afternoon. What's going on, Merritt? Ascension Industries says, FedEx lost my spray booth. Reordering another one this week. Oh, that's a killer. Hopefully they reimbursed you for that. Because that sucks. That sucks. Anyway. Alright. Let's see. Let's jump back into this thing. Shall we? I think so. Alright. So, looking at the leg, seeing how we got this thing fairly cleaned. Let's see how our little nugget of super glue is here. That should work. Let's see how it trims down here. Not too bad. What about this side? This side is the kicker. Ooh, yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Not too bad, boys and girls. Let's see what we got here. All right, moment of truth. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. I think we're happy. I think we're happy with that. Yeah, I think we are. All right, so, you know, one thing that we can do to fill up that little section there is to camouflage it, right? With one of these little Kotobukiya plates, right? Simple solution. It's a very, very simple solution. Now, finding one that is the proper size, that is going to be the issue. But it looks like these little guys right down here, these little plates probably will be the way to go. Now, before I cut these out, let's see, do I have, is this one of them? Or is this bigger? This may be bigger than those other ones. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's a bigger sized vent than what we need. So we're gonna put that back off to the edge there. Let's get this box out here and see if there's anything that we can find in here that we can maybe patch that area a little bit better. Because for this, I'm just, you know, I'm kind of over this whole build, to be honest with you, as if you guys couldn't tell already. So, patching little spaces like this, I have zero issue with at this point. I don't see any little plates or anything in here, but there is that little piece there. Let's see what this looks like on this leg. Yeah. That's too big. Nope, that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. Kind of expected that, but it was a long shot. No big deal. All right, so we'll put that away, and we'll just go ahead and have to cut these little plates out and see what they look like, right? So we'll go ahead and be super careful, because these are very thin little pieces, and if you're not careful, they will definitely split on you, right? Let's get you zoomed in a little bit so you can see with greater detail here, yeah? So these Kotobukiya plates here, these, as you can see, tried cutting these and they split right in half because they're like 0.5 millimeter thin, or thinner actually. But yeah, they just completely snapped on me. So just one of those things. Not a great outcome, but you know, it's whatever. So we'll get these cut out here. These look to be a bit stronger, and we'll see if this works. Yeah, go for broke here. All right, so there's our two little pieces, and get the nubbies trimmed up on this thing. Just like that. Same thing with this one. Good. Just like that. Okay, cool. So now Let's see what this looks like. Ooh, that might fit. That might just fit. Alright, we're gonna have to trim this just a bit to make it fit, but I think once we do that, I think it'll look really, really quite nice in there. Okay. Let's cut that like that, and then we'll invert it. And let's see if it fits. Alright, we need to trim just a little bit, and we can do that with our 1.5 here. Right? So we'll come in and we will chisel out just a wee little bit there, right in the corner. Same thing on the other side. Just get that corner just nice and straight, right? So let's try that one more time and see if that fits. Oh man, it's so close. So close. Okay, let's try that again. Real quick, I'm gonna trim the edge with this little leftover nub. There we go. Ooh, come on now. Get in there. Oh, you son of a bitch. Keeps popping out on me here, you guys. But you can kind of see the look that we're going for there. And I think that looks really, really good. Elegant solution to a problem here, right? So what we'll go ahead and do is get a little bit of super glue in there. We'll get our little palette here, another drop of super glue, and let's go ahead and glue this guy in place. Just like that. Okay, and there we go. There you can kind of see how we filled in that spot there with just a simple little, you know, trimmed vent, and that looks really, really quite nice. Now, when you compare it to the other leg, yeah, see, that whole thing just sets it off really, really quite nice. Now, what I'll end up doing is painting that whole assembly there a white color for the unicorn, and we'll obviously panel line this whole thing, and that'll catch the panel lining fluid and all that and look kind of really, really nice. Yeah, I think that's shit. I think that's definitely the look that we go for. I dig it. I dig it a lot. Cool. Rocking. All right, let's get caught up with the chat one last time here today, and then we're gonna put a bow on this thing. Call it a stream. Yeah. Let's see. Edwin RSA, he's over there on YouTube. He says hello everyone. What's going on, Edwin? Let's see. Merritt Philbin, just finishing up work. Oh, ouch! Your super secret. Secret look good. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Ascension Industries, nope. Yo, FedEx didn't pay you back for that? For losing your spray booth? That's messed up, man. That's super messed up. Brandon says, if you want chrome, use the Molotov paint pens. You can open them and spray it through an airbrush. You can. They're not great, though. They're not great. They're very finicky. And they're not very strong, either. It's just, I'm not a big fan. Bill says, so if this kit is being shipped to USA Gundam Store, is Pab's build also being shipped? That's on him. Huh. He says, if so, how many months apart will they be sent down there? Right? We gotta wait for Pabs to finish priming first. Yeah, and there you go. He says, depends on how many layers of primers the NZ is going to need. Exactly. Pre-ordered the blue dual conversion, Andrew says. Chris Paz says, but yeah, I'm sending mine down too. So that'll be nice, yeah. LOL, notice I didn't say whose would take longer. Right, Bill? Pab says, awesome, man. Is it your first resin conversion? Pab's to Bill, he says, at this point, that's a coin toss, though. All this work he's putting in is making me feel inadequate. Aw. It's okay, Pabs. Andrew says, I have 3 others I need to work on. LOL, I have the ID Nataku, Sim Spartan, and Zaku 1 Sniper that I want to detail to look like Yeoman Kirk's unit. Nice. Brandon says, have a great night, everyone. Stay safe out there. Talk to y'all later. Brandon, thank you for watching, buddy. Appreciate you. But, you know, I think we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to wrap this one up here, you guys. I like the look of this leg here with that little vent. I think that's a good little piece. So, yeah. Pab says, don't pull a Z and get to work. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Let's go camera 1 here real quick. All right, so you guys, I will be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we're gonna work on the GBWC 2021 build. And then tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, we're going to have another episode of Mechanism and Act Like Complete Savages. So, normal, right? But hey, if you want to pick up one of these awesome mecha shirts, which are nice and clean and just so very, very lovely, hit up www.childofmecha.com, hit the store button right up near the top. You'll find this shirt, you'll find hats, you'll find prints and all sorts of other cool stuff in there, so go load up on that. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we worked with here today, there is an Amazon link below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side if you're watching on Facebook. Now, I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It goes to help out me, help out the stream, and fuel our endeavors moving forward. If you are in need of kits, paints, tools, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, and thank you, Julius, by Mecha Decals. They are in stock and shipping right now. Hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the crew will definitely have what you need. Now, don't forget, this is the most important part. If you like learning what we put out here, and if you like what you see in the content that I provide, like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the thumbs up icon down yonder on YouTube, and if you know somebody that may benefit from watching this stream, go ahead and share it with them. Feel free, be my guest. And if you know a Facebook group that could definitely use some up in their game, do the same thing. Share the stream in one of those. It's always appreciated. But with that being said, you guys, I'm tired. I don't know why. I'm just tired today. Anyway, I'll be back here tomorrow with 3. We're going to jump on the GBWC build, and then tomorrow we're going to have fun on Mechanism. So come on back for all that. Until that time, man, stay safe. Use some common sense out there. Wash your hands. But most importantly, go build something cool. All right? See you guys.